With your boy, O-line really get destroyed. Ex-patriot, Cal Van Noy, put him on his butt, hurt hemorrhoids. What's a grown man to a boy? Jamming at the line, yeah, you the Thor. Disciplined coach Brian Flores, never get me rattled to the boys. Fans better pay attention, even social distance. I got a witness and you know we blitzing, but mind your business. Christian Wilkins on the line of scrimmage, far from timid, pushing to the limit, revving engine. You know we gotta get it, Nick Needle. You know we gonna pick it, Van Ginkle, take it to the business. Fins up till my life is finished. Say it with my chest cause I meant it. A lie, no why, I admit it. New era, yeah, I division. A win streak, we just keep on winning. So I lose and tell them suck the limit. Bills with the Jets in New England. Miami top dogs where you hit me.
Back in the beast mode. AFC was trying to rap up the East Coast. Take shots, fall back, then reload. Get the powder time to slap up these foes. Anytime we hit the field, then we must play. Any boys going hard, man, I must say. Try to stay on one route like the busway. Trying to eat teams up like a buffet. Buffet. Eat the offense like a buffet. Eat the quarterback like a buffet. Eat the running back like a buffet. Eat the wide receiver like a buffet. Eat the whole line like a buffet. Eat the coach up like a buffet. Eat the fan base like a buffet. Stand one round like the busway.
So low, so low, so low, deep. So low, so low, so low, deep.
Good morning, everybody. This is your boy, Stephen D. We are live clock blockers here in the building. Stop snoozing with Stephen D. And I am so excited that you all are with us this morning. How's everybody doing? It's exciting. We had a good weekend. I hope you enjoyed yourselves and you're ready now to come on in and see the party and get it started. I'm your host, Stephen D. This is the new morning show here on Miami Sports Music. We're pretty excited about this. For those of you guys don't know, I'm the man. I'm doing it all by myself. I'm running the board. I'm running everything. So we're still getting used to everything here, but we are definitely excited. For those of you who don't know, my name is Stephen D, and I am part of Miami Sports Music, and we are excited that y'all are with us this morning. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about all things Miami. We're going to talk about all things Miami fans and all things Miami sports. So you know what? Without further ado, let's get the morning started, right? Let's see what we're going to talk about this morning. All right. So this morning, we got a lot going on. We're going to be talking about the Heat edging out the Celtics yesterday. Such a good game. I don't know if y'all had an opportunity to watch the game, but look, the Heat were up big. Celtics came back. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to get a little talk about the NBA play-in tournament that started last year during COVID, and it looks like it's here to stay. So we're going to talk a little bit about that because right now your Miami Heat are sitting in that 6th seed, right above having to play in that play-in tournament. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the play-in tournament and whether it's good that you don't have to play in it or vice versa. Look, the other things we're going to talk about, your Florida Panthers, baby. They're ready to go to the playoff. They are playoff bound. They're locked, stocked, and loaded. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm pretty excited about what's going on. They had a game this weekend against the Tampa Bay Lightning, which it looks like who's going to be their first-round opponent. So I am pretty excited about that. We're also going to talk a little bit of soccer, not American football, but football. We're going to talk Inter Miami CF. They tied with a late goal in the second half of yesterday's game. That was pretty exciting. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. Marlins, we're going to talk about their games over the weekend against the Milwaukee Brewers. They had a pretty good series. Unfortunately, they lost that series yesterday in extras for the game yesterday, and we're going to go into that. And then I got to talk about it, guys. I got to talk about the rumors, right? We got to talk about Aaron Rodgers. You know, this wouldn't be a Miami show if we didn't talk about Aaron Rodgers. And then we got to talk about predicting, do the Dolphins get primetime games this year? We're going to talk a little bit about that too. Look, I want to see you guys on the show here. So if you guys want to come in, make sure you guys hit up this link. I want you guys to come on. And when we're talking about something, if you guys want to give your 2 cents worth, I want to hear your 2 cents worth. Make it 5 cents. Make it 10 cents. I don't care. This show is for you, the fans. It's made by a fan for you. So without further ado, let's get this thing started here, right? So the first thing we got going on this morning is we were talking about the Miami Heat, right? And the Miami Heat yesterday make a statement win. And how did they do that? Well, look, they won 130 to 124. And look, Jimmy Butler had 26 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds. Your boy Bam had 20 points, 3 assists, 6 rebounds. And at the end of the day, if you look at it, you know what the Miami Heat need to do is they need to keep winning games if they're going to stay ahead of this play-in tournament. And so it'll be very interesting to see. The next game that the Miami Heat play are against the Boston Celtics again, right? And that game will be on Tuesday, and that'll be at Boston again. So the way the NBA has been doing it this year is they've been having teams play 2-game series in that city against those teams, less travel, less interaction between cities. So it'll be very interesting to see because it's a very important game, right? Let's kind of go back to the game yesterday, though. So yesterday, the Heat make a statement. What they did is they were up big, and they were up big in the beginning. And then in the fourth quarter of yesterday's game, if you look right there, the Boston Celtics scored 40 points in the fourth quarter. And I don't know about you, but at the end of the day, if the Miami Heat are going to make a run at this thing in the playoffs, they can't give up 40 points in the fourth quarter. Jason Tatum, 29 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, and Kemba Walker, 18 points, 6 assists, and 2 rebounds. And if you look, Miami's sitting at 6 in the Eastern Conference. Boston's sitting at 7. All right, so Tuesday's game, tomorrow night's game, that's a big game, right? That's a huge game for the Miami Heat. And last year, they didn't have to worry about this, right? So, look, in my opinion, Miami's the better team on paper. Jimmy Butler is better than anybody the Celtics have. And I love the roster that Miami has over Boston. So I don't know why this ends up being, I don't know why it's so difficult for them right now. Heat need to win tomorrow. Julio, yes, I totally agree. The Heat need to win tomorrow. There's no doubt about that. If they don't win tomorrow, it's going to be tough sledding for them, and they might have to play in that play-in tournament. And I don't want that. Do you? Look, we sit here and we talk about what's going to happen. Let's kind of talk a little bit, that game yesterday. It was so good, and those uniforms, by the way, are just so sick. I love those uniforms. Those Vice colors are absolutely amazing. If you're asking me, the Miami Dolphins need to get jerseys like this too. But hey, nobody's asking me, right? Who am I? But yesterday's game is very important if you look at it. And what needs to happen at the end of the day is people need to look and realize that this is a big deal what's going to happen here. They need to play good in order to win. And if you're looking at the tournament, and you're looking at what you're going to see here, you're going to see there's a play-in tournament. And the way the NBA does it right now is 6 through 10 plays against each other in a playoff game, right? And a 1-game playoff game. And the winner, 9 and 10, and the loser, 7 and 8, all right, they end up playing each other, all right? And so the winner of that second game, you don't have to win 2 games to get into the playoffs. You just have to win the second one at the end of the day. And so you look right now, if the season were to end today, Boston would be sitting at 7. The Charlotte Hornets would be sitting at 8. The Washington Wizards would be sitting at 9. And the Indiana Pacers would be sitting at 10. And the team in the 6th seed, right there on the cusp, sitting at 37-21, the Miami Heat. And the reality is, also sitting at 37, number 1 is number 5, Atlanta. And they would get to play against the Knicks in the first round of the playoffs, which, hello, Knicks back in playoffs, big deal. I mean, I'm an NBA fan, period. So just seeing the Knicks in the playoffs is always a fun time to see that, because that means the NBA is getting a little bit better, right? And I like to see that. But would you rather play Milwaukee, or would you rather play the Knicks in the first round of the playoffs? I would rather play the Knicks. Let's be honest, okay? So I don't know about you, but that's kind of what we're going to see. And here's the other thing. What you're also going to see is the New York Knicks are sitting at 4 at 38-30. They're 1 game ahead of Atlanta and Miami. And so if you look at that, what's going to happen is Miami keeps winning. They have an opportunity to get the 4 seed, right? They're not going to get the 3 seed. The highest they can get the 4. And honestly, you know, they're going to get in one way or another, because the 10th seed is 31-36. So it's going to happen. They're going to get in the playoffs. The question is, are they going to get in the play-in tournament, or are they going to get into the playoffs, period, and have a chance for a couple of days off and sit down? So, look, it'll be very interesting to see what happens. Tomorrow night's game is going to be a big one. If you're a Heat fan, you guys got to tune in. And if you're not, I don't know what you're doing with your lives, because it's going to be a good game tomorrow night. Play the Knicks all day, Julio said. Totally, 100%. Julio also said, F the Knicks. I'm about that life. They have the tiebreaker against the Knicks, too. Look, hey, that's a big deal. That's going to play into it. So if the Heat, obviously, the Heat are there and the Knicks are there with the same record, and they're sitting at 4-5, Heat get home court advantage. I like it. Eric says, all day Heat Nation. I like that too. All right. Well, look, I mean, let's kind of go to the next thing here. I always love being able to do this. Let's kind of hit the reset button too, while we're at it. Do you have a business? All right. And need to get your brand more potential customers? Well, then Miami Sports Music has the opportunities for marketing and advertisement on our website, podcast network, social media, and even this awesome show, Clap Blockers, Stop Snoozin with Stephen D. That's me. Miami Sports Music has plenty of opportunities catered to your budget so that they get your business and brand to our listeners without breaking the bank. If you want more information on this and other marketing opportunities, email VP Miami Sports Music at gmail.com. Again, that's VP Miami Sports Music at gmail.com. All right. So we talked about the Heat, talked about playing tournament. Done with that. Let's go to the next thing. And you know what the next thing is? Some Panthers hockey, baby. Some Panthers hockey. So yesterday, Florida played the Lightning, Tampa Bay, and there was some fisticuffs. That happened, right? And that's always a good time, because that's why hockey is one of my favorite sports. At the end of the day, they let you fight, and I always like to see that. So if we're looking at the game yesterday's final score was 5-1, Florida over Tampa. My man Alexander Wennberg had a hat trick. That doesn't happen often, people. So look, you know, it looks like Florida's in the zone heading into the playoffs. It looks like the very good potential that Tampa Bay ends up being that team that they're going to play in that first round, right? So they're second in the Central. Tampa Bay sitting at third, and you know the game yesterday was a really good game. These two teams don't like each other at all. And if you're sitting there and you guys want to see good competition and some good sports, playoff hockey is where it's at. That's from the fight yesterday during the game. You know, it's just good all around hockey to watch. And look, the same thing as the Heat and the Celtics sitting right next to each other trying to get in. Heat and Florida, they're trying to see who's also going to get. So there's a good opportunity that Florida and Tampa could play each other. And so we're going to kind of see where that ends up. If you're looking right now, the way that that's going to work is, the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning, they need to keep winning. And as long as they keep winning, they're going to do just fine. Our Elder says, what's up, Chef Jew? What's up, Chef Jew? All right. Look, if you guys want to get onto the show, I want to hear from you. Okay. And if y'all want to get on and talk to me about anything we've talked about so far this morning, there is a link right here, StreamYard.com/. You see all those letters. Make sure you get on, sign in, and I'll get you on and we'll talk some sports this morning. I'd love to hear from you. I definitely want to hear what your thoughts are on the Miami Heat. We can talk a little Florida Panthers hockey, what you guys are thinking going to happen going into the next game, which is also Tuesday night. Tomorrow night, if you're not sitting on your couch and you don't have the Miami Heat on one channel and the Florida Panthers on the other, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Seriously, there's going to be some good games tomorrow night. And it's going to mean something, even though it's getting towards the end of the year and these teams are already in the playoffs. They want to see some good hockey. All right. So look, as we keep on going, it's always a good thing to kind of see that the Florida teams are doing such a good job, because it's been a long time since South Florida sports has been, high up in the playoffs on a year in, year out basis. So that's what I want to see. Right. All right. Hey, you. That's right. I'm looking at you. Seriously. Do me a favor. Stop what you're doing right now and go subscribe to Miami Sports Music's YouTube channel. I'm not playing. I need you to stop what you're doing right now and go do that. And then make sure you put the notifications on so that every time Miami Sports Music goes live or uploads new content, you're getting it. So seriously, help us out and subscribe and make sure you get the notifications turned on so that you don't miss any action right here on Miami Sports Music. Content made for the fans, by the fans. I love it all day. Let's go to the next thing. Elder says that, Steven, that shirt. I know, man. My wife got me this shirt. I like it a lot, man. I would like to get on, but I'm at work listening. As always, Chef Ju's in the building. Chef Ju is a loyal listener. 2 days we've been doing the show. Chef Ju's been on both days. So as far as I'm concerned, that man's got a perfect record going. I appreciate the love, Chef Ju. Make sure you guys go share. Whether you're watching on Facebook or you're watching on YouTube, you guys go share, because, hey, man, let's get other people on. Let's grow this thing. And I can't do it without you guys. So if you're watching right now, make sure you share the link. Tell people to come on and start watching this show, because it's the number one show for the fans. All right, next up, man, we got to talk a little bit of soccer. There was some good soccer that happened over the weekend. For those of you who don't know, Miami has an MLS team, Inter Miami Club Football. And let me tell you, if you haven't been to the stadium yet, you got to go, because it is wild. It is a black and pink stadium. And I know right now Miami's feeling those Vice colors. We were talking about the Vice City jerseys earlier from the Miami Heat. And if you're looking at what Miami soccer's doing, this is a big deal. And so I'm pretty excited about what happened. If you want to take a look at yesterday's game was a 1-1 final. Only thing I don't like about soccer is the end in a tie, right? And what's worse than a tie? Kissing your sister. So look, that's the only thing I don't like about soccer. But at the end of the day, Lewis Morgan in the 77th minute, getting towards the end of the game in the second half, he scored a goal. And so that was a big deal, because, look, even ties get you points in the MLS, as in any soccer. And so as long as they tie or win, Miami's doing what they need to do to get in the playoffs. And let's support that team, man. Look, any pro team, any college team that is in the South Florida area, we want to support it. And not only that, it's David Beckham, right? Come on, man. I want to bend it like Beckham. Yesterday's game was really, really good. I did catch a little bit of a glimpse of it yesterday. And Atlanta looks like a pretty good team too. They're going to be tough to beat as we move forward. They're in the same conference as us, and they're sitting at 7 while we're sitting at 9. So granted the season just started, but if the season ended today, we would be sitting outside of the playoffs. So we just need to keep on winning. Miami sports music, fire all day. I like it. I think Solo D's watching everybody. Everybody give a big shout out to Solo D if you're in the comment section, because look, he created this thing right here. This DWA brand, that was this guy. All right. Look, there's not too much to say. There wasn't a lot that happened, but I will say scoring a goal late just tells me that this team wants to do anything they can to make sure they stay relevant in the playoff scenarios. And so that's always fun to watch when a team wants to be and stays competitive. So we'll see as we move forward what they look like. And if you get a chance to go out there, we want to see that. What's up, Solo D? Arnaldo, also, man, my guy, you have been watching every day too. So I'm going to give you the same shout out that Chef Zhu had. I appreciate the love, man. Make sure you guys go out, click, subscribe. Jaconda, I got to put this on, but we're not about that life over here, my guy. Bang, bang, Laker gang. Jaconda's my boy, everybody, but I need y'all to go gang up on him right now, okay? That's not Miami sports music. That's not about that life. Jaconda is a huge Dolphins fan, everybody. He is a great guy, so all in good fun. Solo, what's up, bro? All right, yeah, let's keep going, man. I love what we got going on here. If you like sports content and you like reading sports content and you're at work sometimes and you just want to be able to sit down and read, 305sports.net is the exclusive provider for all the sports news right here on Miami Sports Music. They have original articles and contents written by fans and reporters, and they also have some familiar faces from our family too. Who am I talking about? Our very own media director has a podcast on 305sports.net called Talking About Them Dolphins, hosted by Jamie Bahamas. Guys, go check that out. Make sure you download that, right? His podcast, wherever you download podcasts or listen, I need you to go download that podcast right now and support Jamie because Jamie is the man. We love him. If you guys go to our website, Jamie designed that. Jamie is such a big contributor to our team and our family here. And we wouldn't be doing this without him. So make sure you guys go support him. If you want original, amazing sports content from South Florida's high schools all the way up to the pros, go visit 305sports.net today. Those guys over there and what they do at 305 Sports is definitely amazing. We love being partnered up with them, and they always take care of us over there. So, look, we definitely want to make sure that we're doing good and supporting them. All right. Next up, got to talk some Marlins baseball, people. Got to talk to Marlins baseball. Jaconda said, I don't want no trouble. No trouble. What up? What's up, man? How you guys doing? If you guys want to get on, I want to see you guys get on. If you're watching the show right now and you want to talk anything that we've talked about so far, make sure you go to this link. If you scroll up all the way to the beginning of the comments, you guys copy this link into another tab in your internet. Come on. You can get on the line with me. We can talk face to face right here on Miami's #1 morning show. And I'd love to see you. I'd love to talk to you. I want to hear from you. Okay. Look, Julios, that's right. Marlins lost the last two. So let's kind of get into that. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Good times. I got to answer this real quick. Where can we get that DWA hat? Good times. Let me tell you, all my Miami Dolphin, Miami sports music supporters, where can Good Times go find this hat at right now? Put it in the comments box. I need to know how many of y'all know where to tell this person to go, because we all know where to go. MiamiSportsMusic.com, baby. If you want the flyest DWA gear, go to MiamiSportsMusic.com. We got you set up over there, guys. All right, look, let's kind of go back to where we were at here, and let's talk about some Marlins baseball. Marlins over the weekend played the Milwaukee Brewers, and Milwaukee took the last two games of the 3-game series. Game 1 on Friday night, Marlins bats came out swinging. They won 6-1. Game 2, they lost the same way, 6-2. And then yesterday was a pretty good game. It was a pitcher's duel, and it went 11 innings. And so, unfortunately, Milwaukee won in the 11th, 2-1 on Mother's Day, and that's okay. And, look, Miami is still trying to find themselves. Still trying to figure out their identity and who they are, and they're still rebuilding. Let's be perfectly honest. But there were some highlights over the weekend, right? Miguel Rojas, shortstop with the Miami Marlins, 4 for 12, 1 home run, 1 double. Trevor Rogers, guys, I love this kid. This kid is one of the best pitchers in baseball as far as I'm concerned. Pitched 5 innings, 6 strikeouts, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks. I'd like to see his less hits, more strikeouts, but hey, that's okay, right? I'd like to see him get a little bit deeper into ball games. But on the season, he's 4-2 with a 1.89 ERA. And that's a big deal, guys. You guys have a starting pitcher who's keeping that ERA low and eating up innings and getting quality starts. Got an opportunity to do something here. And so, that's always a good thing. Our pitcher on yesterday, I want to say pitched 7 innings. So look, quality starts are how you don't get a bullpen tired, the further into the season. So quality starts are always a good thing. What I want to see at the end of the day, Jaconda said MSM clothing. No, MiamiSportsMusic.com, man. Jaconda, you got to get it right. Our new website, MiamiSportsMusic.com. Look, at the end of the day, you want to see that they're doing it. And over the weekend, there was a grand slam on Friday night by Diaz, and he absolutely crushed it with the bases loaded. And watching the games over the weekend, it was really, really cool to see, what was going on with them. If we look at, the Brewers and, the Miami Marlins right now, the Brewers are sitting at 19-16, 2 games out of first in the Central. And then obviously the Marlins are under 500, sitting at 15-18, 3 games out. But guys, this is the first month of the season. We're going to get there. Don't worry about it. Have patience. We all know that the teams that are at the top now could be totally at the bottom when it's all done in September. And it's about who can stay healthy and whose pitching can last the longest, whose arms are not going to get tired as we go into the season. So, guys, make sure you check it out. The stadium there is beautiful. Yesterday, Solo D, the Honorable Solo D, was at the stadium for Mother's Day. It was really, really good. Those Mother's Day uniforms. Shout out to all the moms, by the way. If you're watching and you're a mom, or if you're watching and you're married to a woman that is a mom, make sure you go give her some love. I know it's a little bit of a day late, but look, the moms out here need loving too. And at the end of the day, we wouldn't be here without our moms, right? So make sure you go give your mom some love. Make sure you tell her that you love her because we want to see that. Looking at, I love when a team, like this is Milwaukee right here, don't get it twisted, but the pink on the hats here is pretty dope. I like that. I always love Mother's Day games. I was in Minnesota a few years back. They were playing the Baltimore Orioles, and it was just really cool to see the pink bats, the pink glove. It's funny, Miami started this trend with pink, and it's something that, hey, they saw it work on Mother's Day. Why don't we just try it every day? And it's worked out pretty well for Miami teams, if I say so myself. So, look, the next series they got coming up, Miami Marlins have a 4-game series this week in Arizona. So it'll be very interesting to see how they stack up against the Arizona Diamondbacks. If you look at the Diamondbacks, they're pretty much the same team Miami is. So if you always want to get a good measurement on how good a baseball team is, look at a team that has very similar stats, similar win-loss record, and you can kind of see, okay, are we the same? Are we not? I think teams get hot at the end of the day. I think teams get cold. That's baseball. But I think this will be a good measuring stick for the Miami Marlins to see how they do. And Milwaukee Brewers have a 3-game series at home against St. Louis if you guys wanted to check them out too. All right. Is it true Solo D is working on the remix of the Dolphins fight song? Good times, man. Look, Solo D's working on anything all the time, every time, all day and all night. I am not sure about that. Solo has not informed me about that, but I can tell you Solo has let me listen to this year's theme song for the Dolphins. Every year, Solo does a season song to begin the year, and it's pretty dope, guys. You guys are going to love it. I think it's the best one yet. Julio says Marlins don't have good closers. They don't. Look, bullpen pitching is something that teams need in order to be able to be successful. You can't rely on starters to pitch complete games because they don't do that anymore in Major League Baseball. 25 years ago, it was very easy for you to see a starter pitch a complete game. We're not in that baseball anymore. Now we're in where, pitchers and specialists and closers are the reason that you win championships. And again, Julio, you got to remember, Marlins are still rebuilding, and it'll be very interesting to see what the Marlins do as the season progresses. Like I said, Trevor looks pretty amazing. I'm pretty excited about that. And if you really want to see what a good closer is, if you look over here, Josh Hader was a starter for a few years in Milwaukee, and now is the closer. He pitched 2 innings over the weekend, 5 strikeouts, 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, and 2 saves. That's how you win ball games. And yesterday, Milwaukee won the game because of Josh Hader, because of the closer. So it's very interesting Julio sets that up because closers can be the difference between a win and a loss, and they can be the difference between you getting in the playoffs and you not getting in the playoffs. So, and as Julio says, it's early. That's right, man. This is the first month of the season. Guys, we'll get there. As my boy Mike says, Marlins will be straight. They'll be straight all day. All right, let's kind of get into what I know a lot of you want to talk about. Before I kind of get into that, I do want to promote what we got going on this weekend, tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, the Miami Dolphins, Miami Sports Music will be hosting a roundtable show. DWA Dolphin fans, listen up. Tomorrow, Tuesday, May the 11th, we'll be going live at 9 p.m. for a Dolphins roundtable show exclusively on Miami Sports Music. All the guys from the podcast network, a couple of fan club presidents, super fans, they'll dive into the draft. X-Man's future, we'll talk about Xavier Howard. We'll talk about the current shape of the roster. We're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers, as we're going to talk a little bit this morning. And we'll talk about more, all right here on Miami Sports Music. If you want to ask a question, go on Twitter and use the hashtag MSM Roundtable, and we will answer your question live on the show. We know it's work and school night, so if you can't watch us live, don't worry about it. You can download it the next day and watch it or listen to us on your way to work. Or if you're taking a Ferris Bueller's day off, that's fine too. Again, we hope you join us tomorrow night at 9 p.m. for the Miami Sports Music Dolphins Roundtable Show. Myself, Jamie Bahamas, TD Finstock, Wade. We'll have some super fans as well as some fan club leaders on. We hope you guys go check it out. It's going to be a really good time. And we want you guys to join in on the fun too. So again, if you go on Twitter, use the hashtag MSM Roundtable. That's M as in Miami, S as in sports, M as in music, MSM Roundtable. Use that hashtag on Twitter to ask questions, and we'll answer it tomorrow night on the show. All right, let's go back to where we were and what we had going on, all right? So we talked about the Marlins, talked about soccer, we talked about Panthers. Guys, now we're going to get into the crux of things. I want you to get your fingers ready. If you want to get in on this conversation, we're going to have a good time because I know a lot of people got a lot to say here on what they think or not think about this situation. Make sure you go to StreamYard.com/here if you want to get on today's show. I want somebody. Give me a few people. Come on, let's talk. I know you guys want to talk about Aaron Rodgers. I know you guys want to talk about predicting the Dolphins primetime games this year. So let's kind of talk about that right now, because I think at the end of the day, we're definitely going to see you guys kind of go a little bit crazy here this afternoon or this morning. I say this afternoon, this morning. It's early, guys. #1 morning show. All right. So Chef Shu said, I will definitely be there. Awesome. I like it. Okay. Miami Dolphins. Will the Packers trade Aaron Rodgers? Right? So if you look at over the weekend, a lot of stuff came out. And the one story that's dominating the NFL and on all the national media shows is the Miami Dolphins, the team best prepared to make a run at Aaron Rodgers? Make sure you put your comments in the comment box. Tell me how you really feel. Because is this pipe dreams? Do you really want Aaron Rodgers? Let's get something straight here, people. I am a Tua fan and I am a Tua supporter. All right. But look, you guys got to be honest. You know, the man won the MVP last year, and we are the most equipped to make a trade and not mortgage the future to go get him. So it'll be very interesting to kind of see where the Dolphins kind of go from here. You know, I'm pretty excited because I just like the Dolphins being relevant on national media. And I remember when Peyton Manning was leaving the Colts, there was a lot of talk about him coming to South Beach. And obviously that didn't happen. But look, Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, is a lot different situation than Peyton Manning was several years ago. Peyton was still coming off a major injury. We didn't know what type of Peyton they would get, and that's how that would work, right? Aaron Rodgers is the former MVP last year. And if you have an opportunity to go out and get the MVP of the NFL, you got to have at least a discussion about it. So my question is, do you think that the front office is having those discussions right now? Angry Homie, we need Rodgers ASAP, and we're instantly Super Bowl contenders. Corey says, fins up. Julio says they have the picks. Only way I'm down for it is if they keep Tua and learn from him. The only way. Look, here's the reality. Green Bay doesn't need Tua. They got Jordan Love. So there's a good chance that they wouldn't have to give him up. Now, you would have to give up some more first rounders. So the reality is Xavier Howard somebody that goes in that package? Right? Is there a third team? Is there a third team that comes into the mix that might want Tua? These are all different scenarios when you look at it. And at the end of the day, the Miami Dolphins are the most prepared team. The other two teams that I could see making a run at this thing are the Denver Broncos, right? And the New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees retired, and we know John Elway wants a quarterback. And that's the end of the day. Julio says, I heard the Steelers would be the third team. Look, you know, hey, Ben Roethlisberger, for some reason, that man still keeps on being the starter, and they don't have a replacement for him. You know, and then you go look at Green Bay. Green Bay has pissed off 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in their time over the last 20 years, Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, because they consistently draft for the future. So the question is, you know, would you rather be Pittsburgh? Would you rather be Green Bay? I want to say they both have the same amount of Super Bowls in that time. Pittsburgh might have one more, maybe. But, you know, I don't think anybody's right or anybody's wrong. I just think is 2 different philosophies. So, yeah, the Steelers could definitely be one of those teams. Jaconda said, with me being one of the biggest fans and supporters, A-Raj would take us to a Super Bowl, and we would have to lose Tua undoubtedly and a lot of draft picks. Angry Homie says, I will give 4 first-rounders for Rodgers every day of the week. However, I think that Flo and Greer will stay on track with their plan. Jaconda, I totally agree with you. I don't think that the front office is going anywhere. Look at the offseason moves that they made. Look who they picked with the number 6 pick, Jalen Waddle. And I'm going to tell you right now, if it wasn't for Tua, we would have got Penei Sewell. I truly believe that. I think Jalen Waddle was picked because Tua was there, and that's what I think. So I think every move that they've made in this offseason has been to the benefit of Tua Tagovailoa. So we would definitely see. Samuel said, I wouldn't go after Rodgers. Rodgers was developed in Green Bay. Tua should be developed in Miami. Tua played just 9 games, and I'm sick or tired of teams wanting to go after our dynasty of future picks. Look, Greer's done a great job getting those picks. He's made some great maneuvers. But you have to realize they're there as collateral, right? They're there just in case we need to use them. And it doesn't mean we have to use them in the draft. It can mean we can go out and get the NFL MVP if he's available, if Green Bay's willing to trade him. Remember, we are here. We were here before when Peyton left Indy. We were a quarterback away and didn't before he went to go to Denver. Totally agree, man. It's either the Dolphins or the Broncos or San Fran's going to get Rodgers. San Fran's not going to get it. San Fran's not going to get it. There's no way that he goes to the 49ers. I personally think he ends up in Denver and Miami if Green Bay lets him go, period. And Green Bay is hard-headed enough to be like, we're not going to let you go, man. Good times. It could make us a one-hit wonder, but we can give up our core. I like what we're doing as a team. A. Rodgers would be a mess. I met one of the biggest Tua fans and supporters, typing too fast. Jaconda, I know you're at work, brother. Samuel, Tua can get us to a Super Bowl. The Dolphins are building around Tua. Let's get something straight here. This is not a conversation about Tua. If you ask most of the fan base, I think that most fans would agree that Tua has the ability to get us to a Super Bowl. But that's not what this conversation is about. The conversation is, you have an ability to get the NFL MVP. Do you do it? Tua's not proven yet. He's still a question mark. I like him. I think he is the future. I think he's a top 10 NFL quarterback. I think it's going to be scary good to see what the Dolphins are going to do this year with Waddle, Devontae Parker, Will Fuller, maybe Albert Wilson, Gesicki. I mean, that's a badass lineup. That's a badass starting lineup. But, you know, look, it's going to be interesting. Julio says it's a pipe dream. Flo is sticking with Tua anyways, but no lie, Rodgers would make us an instant contender. That's what I'm talking about right there. That last line. This is not about Tua. This is about Rodgers would instantly make us an instant contender. If you go back through the comment history here this morning, that is the number one comment that you see. Rodgers would make us an instant Super Bowl contender. Mike says Aaron Rodgers would look nice in teal. He's already, you know, look, it's not too far-fetched. We've seen him in Green Bay green. Now you can see him in Miami Dolphin teal. Interesting. MVP to me is all about a good quarterback getting a chance, and Tua is that good quarterback. Nobody's arguing that, in my opinion. Nobody's arguing Tua. This isn't even a debate. Who's better, Aaron Rodgers or Tua? Aaron Rodgers. There's going to be no debate. Hopefully, there's no crazy people in the comments post. And if they are, go get them. Aaron Rodgers is the better quarterback than Tua. Now, Tua's unproven. We don't know what Tua can be. But the reality is Aaron Rodgers is better. So if you have a chance to go get Aaron Rodgers, you at least talk. You at least make a phone call. You at least have a conversation about it. Angry Hillman says Tua is not Super Bowl ready. How many good years do you think A-Rod look, after what Tom Brady's done, and the man, in my opinion, still could play another 5 years? I want to say, correct me if I'm wrong, Aaron Rodgers is only 37. Right? So, I mean, hey, he could have 7 to 10 years left in him. That's real. I'm not saying that's out of the question. I would want him to be straight up, you know, because here's the thing about it. If you really look at it, let's say Green Bay's interested. They said, all right, you can talk to him. I would want to know, are you here to stay for a couple of years or are you here to stay for the next 10? You know? Good Time says, the question is at what cost? I want a Super Bowl ring. I don't know about you. I want a Super Bowl ring. We will be deadly with Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers by far. I hope Tua can progress if we do move forward with him. He can't keep going on his first read. He has to look at all the options downfield. That's one of the biggest downfalls from what I have seen. Again, this conversation isn't about Tua. The real question is, how patient is upper management? Cough, cough, Stephen Ross. I like that. Look, I think Stephen Ross has done an amazing job the last couple of years. He hasn't poked his head into anything. Has he? I think he's been great. Signs checks when they need to be signed, and lets Greer does his thing. He's let Greer do his thing. There's no argument on that. He will be, would be nice weather instead of Green Bay. Hey, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, cold Green Bay or South Beach all day, South Beach. I think phone calls have been made by Greer. Look, nothing's official, but yeah, you got to think that there's at least been some sort of talk between Chris Greer and the Green Bay Packers. Rodgers last time went to the Super Bowl is 10 years ago. Yeah, Rodgers should have went to the Super Bowl last year. That wasn't his fault. That was the coaches. There ain't no argument with me on that. Or there is an argument with me on that. That wasn't Rodgers that they haven't been to a Super Bowl. That was the coach. We missed out on Drew Brees, Peyton Manning. Hopefully we don't miss out on Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has been there many times before. He's definitely the better quarterback, hands down. Bring him to Miami, and we can smell Super Bowl. Look, nothing's guaranteed, Charles. Nothing's guaranteed. But yes, I would agree with that statement. That is a very accurate statement, in my opinion. I like Tua for the future, but Rodgers is an immediate chance to win now. Solo D, Tua learning under Rodgers would be crazy. I believe that's Solo, people. Unless that's Jamie. It's either, I think it's Solo. Good times. Okay, I'm starting to like this idea of Rodgers. I want a ring too. Guys, 1984 is the last time we went. Okay, let's be. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna tell you, I wasn't alive then. I don't remember the last time. I don't physically remember. Like, I don't have the memory because I was too young. I don't have a good memory of the last time the Dolphins won a playoff game. It's been like 20 years. I'm over it, man. I want to win, and I want to win now. And if Rodgers is the guy that's going to let us win now, so be it. And if Rodgers is not, I support Tua. And I'm willing to be a little bit more patient with him. But this is it. It's either going to be Tua or it's going to be Rodgers. Rodgers isn't worth 3 first-round picks and additional players, and to me destroys the Dolphins rebuild. The Dolphins fans, Dolphins rebuild, been a Dolphins fan since 1976. Samuel, look, I hear you. I don't agree with that first statement. Rodgers is probably worth first-round picks. I think that's what you're going to have to do to get him. When was the last time the Fins made it? Julio, negative 11 degrees as far as playoffs are concerned in Pittsburgh. Tannehill was hurt. Believe Nat Moore might have started that game, and we ended up getting, it was like Thigpen or something, ended up finishing it. But yeah, it was negative 11 degrees, and we got stopped by Pittsburgh. I was there. Solo D was there. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it, Julio. I had a bad experience. It's not South Beach. It's Dade County. We got to stop saying that. Call it hashtag the crib. All right, Solo. Whatever you say, Solo. It's been over 40 years since we've won a Super Bowl. That's the goal of playing to begin with. Teams first over any individual players. Stephen Ross wants a Super Bowl now. Our team is ready now, and Tua's not proven. Rodgers is Super Bowl ready. We would be stupid not to make a move on Rodgers. We have to give it a shot. Guys, I love it. I love the interaction. All right? All right. Hey, real quick before we go on to our next topic here. I want you guys to remind you, we are here for you, the fans, right? And if you're a Miami Dolphins fan and you're living outside of Miami and you want to get together with other Miami Dolphins fans, then you'll love this. The Miami Dolphins and Miami Sports Music presents the DWA Fan Club Map. All right, the DWA map. This map shows all the Miami Dolphins fan clubs from across the globe. When you go to MiamiSportsMusic.com, you will see the DWA map tab. Click it and discover where you can watch the game this year with other diehard fans just like yourself. When you click on a DWA icon, that club's information will automatically pop up, and you'll be able to see all their information from the founders, the bar and or restaurant where they watch games at, contact information, and social media links. If you have a fan club and you want to have your info on the map, email VP Miami Sports Music at gmail.com. Again, that's VP Miami Sports Music at gmail.com with the following words in the subject line: DWA Fan Club Info. Once we verify you, then we will get you on the map, and you can tell all your friends where you'll be watching the Dolphins come Sunday this football season. Remember, MiamiSportsMusic.com/DWA map. Miami Sports Music, made for the fans, by the fans. Fins up. All right. Let's go on to the next thing. Let's talk about primetime games. All right. Enough about Aaron Rodgers for the minute. DWA Fan Club. Nice. I agree. Good times. Look, let's talk about a little bit about the schedule for this year, right? So this year, do the Dolphins get any primetime games this year is the question on the table. So this year, our away games against non-AFC East are Jacksonville, Tennessee, New Orleans, Tampa, and Vegas. And then our home games against non-AFC East are Atlanta, Carolina, Houston, Indy, and Baltimore. So I'm going to be real. There's the rumor out already that Miami's going to open up the season in Tampa on Thursday Night Football. So it'll be very interesting to kind of see where the Dolphins end up with that. I hope that kind of happens because that's going to be a fun Thursday night game. So we will see if that ends up being the case. So I don't know how many games the Dolphins get. If I had to predict, I think the Dolphins will get 3 primetime games this year, if not 4. All right. You got to think that they're going to get one for Buffalo. You got to think they're going to get one for the Tampa. And, there's teams that you look in there that could possibly also give one a game in Tennessee, Tannehill versus the Dolphins again, or Baltimore. And as always, New England, right? So I think I think 4 is the option that I have for the Dolphins primetime games. Do the Dolphins get any primetime games? I would be interested to hear what you all think. I predict 3 primetime games. Julio, Bucks for sure will be primetime. Our schedule got tougher because our division got tougher. I want to say the Dolphins have one of the easiest schedules in the NFL this year, though, man. I really do. I don't have that information in front of me, but I am very positive they have one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. Mike says I say 4. Jaconda, sheesh, Thursday night against the Super Bowl champs. Sheesh, I may have to go to that one. Jaconda, give me a call, bud. Maybe we'll make that happen. Samuel, Stephen Ross wants to win, but Stephen Ross wants to win, but a dynasty more Super Bowls than the Patriots, and they have things set up that way. I never saw a complete dare down and build it back up only saw terrible pass jobs. I agree, Samuel. I totally agree. Solo, I don't want Baltimore prime time. F that. Seen that enough. Yes, we have, Solo. We have definitely seen that way too much. When do tickets go on sale? I believe you can get season tickets now. Good times if you want. I don't think individual games are on sale yet, but I want to say the schedule is going to be released soon in the next couple of weeks, maybe. And so when that schedule is released, I would have a feeling that individual game tickets are probably going to go on sale right after that. Julio, Ravens, Bucks, Saints, and Buffalo might be our primetime game. I don't think the Saints will, Julio. I really don't. Unless Aaron Rodgers is there in New Orleans. It would definitely be very interesting. Jaconda said, we're there, Steven. My guy. Tampa takeover. Look, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on in Tampa if that's a Thursday night game. That'll be fun. I'm tired of being at those Ravens games embarrassed. My very first game that I ever went to in Miami, my son is 7, so I guess it was 8 years ago. I was against the Ravens, and we lost. In fact, I don't remember beating the Ravens recently in the last several years. But for some reason, they do always embarrass us. I put together the Baltimore beatdown here a few years ago, except we're the ones that got beat down. But it'll be very interesting to kind of see. I want to see how we stack up. I want to see what Lamar Jackson looks like against us and this defense this year. Look, we got the 2 best edge rushers in the game, Emmanuel Agba and my boy from the U all day. So we have the best edge rushers in the NFL. I hate the Ravens, and I live in Maryland. The Ravens are my home team, y'all, and I hate them. Yeah, yep. A lot of Maryland fans up here. May 12th, this Wednesday, the schedule gets released. Jaconda says May 13th. So May 12th or May 13th, the schedule gets released, Wednesday or Thursday. So we'll see if that ends up being the case. Again, I think it's going to be 4 games. We'll see how it is. It'll be very interesting to see. Miami doesn't have a good history of primetime. We all know that. Let's be perfectly honest. Let's call a spade a spade. When Miami plays primetime, we usually lose. But I don't think this is the same team that we've seen over the last several years, last decade, last couple of decades. So it'll be very interesting to see that. You know, it's funny. I'm going to bring up a lot of bad memories for people, but I do in light of primetime games. So every year around the start of football season, I get hungry for football. And I'm so excited. And the NFL Network always plays great games. And so a lot of you might know where I'm going. Know where I'm going with this. So the NFL Network always plays the Dolphins-Jets Monday Night Football game, the Midnight Miracle. And I remember watching that as a kid in my house, sneaking to watch that game. I'd watched the game. I had went to bed. The Dolphins were leading into the fourth quarter. There's no way that they win. I came out into my the living room. I snuck on the TV just to see what the final score was, only to find out that the Dolphins and Jets were in overtime. And it was the most heartbreaking thing I had ever seen in my life. And, you know, for me, it's for some reason, the Dolphins just do not have good luck on primetime games. So I don't even know if I want primetime games because it's just, it turns out bad. It turns out bad. Like I said, I remember that game too. I recorded it because I had to go to school the next day. Same thing, man. I was living in North Carolina at the time, and I was the lone Dolphins fan in my school, and I got ripped that day. Ripped. I'd rather for them to play on Sunday night and Thursday night. Yep. Look, the best primetime game we've had in the last several years was last Saturday, or it was last year, week 16, against Vegas. Seeing Ryan Fitzpatrick get his head ripped off. That was the last primetime game I enjoyed watching. And I have to say, I didn't necessarily enjoy it either because I was screaming and had anxiety through the roof watching that game. Arnaldo, that was gut-wrenching. My neighbor downstairs was a Jets fan, and I fell asleep. I heard screaming and woke up to a heartbreak. Dude, that game to this day gives me nightmares. If you've ever watched the movie Fever Pitch, with what's my guy's name from the Late Show? I can't think of his name off the top of my head. It's killing me. If you ever watched the movie Fever Pitch, though, there's a scene in there where he's depressed and he's super depressed, and he's a Red Sox fan, and he ends up watching the Bill Buckner game. And for those of you who don't know the Bill Buckner game, if you're a Red Sox fan, that's pretty heartbreak. That's their Monday night midnight miracle, except that happened to lose the World Series. And that's how it is for me watching the Monday Midnight Miracle. I'm in a dark room, and you can't turn it off because it's a train wreck. And every time you're looking at the secondary, you're like, why? Jeff Hughes says, I remember that game, Stephen D. Tough loss, shaking my head. I feel we're going to be excellent in prime time this season. Chef Hughes, I'm sure Solo D likes that positive thinking. I want to have that positive thinking, but track record does not show that. But I do think, again, we're going to get 4 primetime games, so it'll be very interesting. Flo still has to prove himself because the Bills game last year was ugly. I'll be nervous about these primetime games, regardless of how you feel about this Dolphins team. Is still bad luck on prime. I agree. I totally agree. All right, look, we're going to wrap up here in a little bit. We got one more story to kind of share with you, just because I think it's very interesting on the weekend. For those of you who don't know, horse racing is kind of back into the swing of things, and the Kentucky Derby was last weekend. And so the Kentucky Derby winner was Bob Baffert, was the trainer. And for those of you who don't know Bob Baffert is one of the greatest trainers in horse racing history. And so his horse, Medina Spirit, won the race. And so what we have now found out is that Medina tested positive for an illegal substance. And in that time, Bob Baffert has now been suspended from Kentucky from doing horse racing. And if you look at it, Bob Baffert, he's won the last 2 horse races there. He had Authentic last year. He had Medina Spirit this year. In 2018, he had Justify. 2015, he had American Pharaoh. I try not to get too much into the horse racing stuff, but I do find it very interesting because, look, we all remember kind of Lance Armstrong and the doping scandal with cycling. And I like little odd sports, right? I like something that's not mainstream. And the only time horse racing is mainstream is the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont. But when something like this happens, especially when gambling's involved, I think it's very interesting because it's not like Vegas is going to refund those bets. And so I think it turns people off away from the game. And it's very interesting from that standpoint. Look, it's probably a common practice. That's the reality of it in horse racing. But to kind of see that is kind of what happened. And Bob, the question. And so when something like that tarnishes your legacy, then everything gets questioned, right? And so it'll be very, very interesting to, kind of see where horse racing goes after this. And what Bob Baffert does. How long will he be suspended? My guess is he'll be suspended for a year and be back in 2022 because he's just so good and he's got money, and that's kind of how horse racing community is. That's just what I think. But I do think it tarnishes your legacy, and it'll be very interesting to kind of see, what happens with that. So. All right, look, guys, we're going to be wrapping up the show here. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today on Clock Blockers. Stop Snoozin with Stephen D, the #1 morning show here on Miami Sports Music, the only morning show on Miami Sports Music, the #1 show for Miami sports. Look, there's, one last thing I want to kind of talk to you guys about. I want to talk to you guys about, what we have going on. Real quick, first thing I want to talk to you guys about is YouTube, right? If you're watching on YouTube right now, this is what I need you guys to go do. I need you guys to stop what you're doing, go subscribe to Miami Sports Music's YouTube channel, and make sure you put the notifications on when you do that. so that every time Miami Sports Music goes live or uploads new content, you get the notifications turned on so that you don't miss any action right here on Miami Sports Music. The other thing I want you guys to go do is go check out my friends. I want you guys to go check out TD Fins Talk. TD has been part of Miami Sports Music podcast network from since day one. You can go to miamisportsmusic.com, check out the latest episodes from TD. And, he's such a great guy, and we love TD, and we're glad he's part of the family. So make sure you guys go check him out. Also, make sure you guys go check out Wade. What would Shula do? Wade is just beginning his show. We all want to support the people that are doing their thing every day. It'll be fun to watch. And then, guys, ladies and gentlemen, we got this coming up. Dwa Freaky, the Freak Show, dropping either at the end of this month or the sometime next month. Will be very, very good to see. I'm very excited to have Dwa Freaky on our airwaves. It'll be fun to watch. Make sure you go check her out. It'll be good. And then obviously the full slate of shows that we currently have. Myself Certified is not debuted yet, but that will be debuting here in the next month. What would Shula do? TD Fins Talk, Dougly Do Wrong, and then obviously talking about them Dolphins, which is a 305sports.net production. So make sure you guys go check out my man, Jamie Bahamas. Jamie is the media director here at Miami Sports Music. We're a big supporter of him. We love what he does, and he's a big part of our family. And then the last thing I want to talk about is these guys, the Positive Porpoise. For those of you who don't know, the Positive Porpoise is made by Danny Johnson. And the Positive Porpoise does a lot of charity stuff and auctions of authentic Miami Dolphins autographed and authentic game-used gear. And this year for the Dolphins Cancer Challenge, the Positive Porpoise raised $50,000 plus for the Dolphins Cancer Challenge. And they are huge. They are growing every Tuesday night. It's really good, the TPP. It's so good. Chef Shu says, looking forward to Dwa Freaky's podcast in my birthday month. Fins up. Yeah, that'll definitely be really, really good. Chef Shu said, great show today. Good time says, hail Fins fire or not. Thanks, Stephen. Informative as always. And then, look, it'll be a good time. So make sure you guys go check that out. And look, this is what we do every morning from 8:30 to 9:30. We're over, I think, about a minute or two, but that's okay. And make sure tomorrow night you guys go check out the Dolphins Roundtable show right here on Miami Sports Music's YouTube and Facebook page tomorrow at 9 p.m. only. All right. I'll be hosting that. We'll have plenty of people on 305sports.net, TD, What Would Shula, try to get Dougly on if he can, TPP. We'll have a whole bunch of people on. So it'll be fun. It'll be great. We're going to talk about the Dolphins. We're going to talk about some stuff that we talked about today. Aaron Rodgers. We're going to talk about the roster. We're going to talk about the draft. It will be fun to watch. So make sure you guys tune in to the Miami Sports Music Facebook and YouTube page tomorrow at 9 p.m. only and exclusively on Miami Sports Music. It'll be fun to watch. And guys, tomorrow morning, same time, same place, Clock Blockers. Stop Snoozin with Stephen D. Live weekdays from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys. It's always a good time to be hanging out with you. I love you guys. Keep it up because, look, at the end of the day, we're a family here. And, I love what we do. And without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this. So it'll be very interesting to kind of see what the Dolphins do as we move forward. It'll be great that you guys are supporting the channel and supporting the content. And Solo says, good job, son. I like it. Great show today. And always do. Fins up. Good times. Yeah, I like it. All right. So look, I'm going to leave you guys with a little bit of Solo D. So if you guys want to rock some Solo D, go ahead and turn up your headphones, turn up your speakers, because I'm going to go ahead and play some Solo D for you guys, because that's the type of friend that I am. I am that guy. Share audio. All right. So check it out. Make sure you guys go subscribe. If you guys aren't already, I don't know what you're doing with your lives. Okay. Love you guys. See you tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. right here on Miami Sports Music.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Fins for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. My intuition told me this. To trust the coach, he holds the gift. He knowing when to go with fits. So we knowing when to switch. This year we got the golden pick. Time to see what that pick about. Bad vibes get sent out. Only fans up in this house. We been waiting, yeah, we been patient. Now it's time to cash out, no discount. Super Bowl, yeah, we in route. I don't know when, but it's close. I don't want to overhype, but I just know I like it. So excited, you gon' notice now. You should notarize it. They say tour from that rock. Shout out to Samoa and Islands. Time to lay the smack down. You think he Dwayne Johnson. Time to be the people's champ. Hit on with the people's elbows. Stick together like it's Velcro. You think you could stop us? Hell no, all day I dream about sports. I think I need some Chateau custom with some Dolphins colors. Just to let them know we here. Yeah. I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Fins for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time.
To a time, to a time. Really hope he the man. Hope we found us a gem. Like the Heat found Bam. Wanna take time to thank Fitz, cause he put on the show. But the young man up, in the whole city know. Time to catch all the blessings. Cash out on the vest. Ball out, don't choke. Fins want all the smoke. Chris Gray gave hope. Coach flow like spoke. Damn Marina still a GOAT, but to a man on go. Watch to a man throw. Watch to a man scope. Watch to a man dish shoot that we never ever seen before. Fans up, let win. Born ready for a ring. Maybe 3, 4, 5, 6. It's damn week, use 10.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Fins for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time, to a time. To a time, to a time.